Okay, this is called Christ's Salvation for Today's Victims. Now, yesterday I think I had that video about how we, the victimized of today, are the totems of peace. Now, obviously, if you look at what Jesus Christ was, how he was described in Scripture, and from legend and mythology, and the early church, early Christians, to know who they were following, you just look at the early Christians, and they were totems of peace. Christ himself was a totem of peace. From what the early Christians said, what their written accounts, this was a man who, like I described in my previous video, became somebody that everybody loved to hate. He came to the Hebrew nation, or Jewish nation, and they all hated him. They were united in the fact that they hated him. The only time they could work together is when they're working together to hate him. They hated him so much, but they couldn't do anything to him. They had to call the Roman Empire to deal with him. The Roman Empire, which evolved to take over the whole of Europe into the Holy Roman Empire, and it is the system that we have today. That's why most of your legal terminology is in Latin, the ancient language of Rome. So this is an empire that the followers, the early Christians, neutralized for us. According to tradition, St. Peter became an object of hate. They hated him so much. Nero even burnt down his own capital, Rome, to blame it on the Christians, used it as an excuse to burn down and sack Jerusalem. All the evidence of Christ was in Rome or Jerusalem. Those two cities were burnt to the ground, so that's why we don't really have any evidence of Christ. All the places where it would have been were burnt. You can check it. There's the Jewish revolt in 70 AD, 30 odd years after Christ, burnt to the ground. If there was any evidence of Christ, it would have been there, burnt to the ground. Then there was the Great Fire of Rome, 4 years before that. If there was any evidence of Christ, it would have been in Rome or Jerusalem. Rome was burnt to the ground 4 years before Jerusalem was. So the Christians became an object of hate. So when they went into Rome, everybody united to hate them. The Romans couldn't do anything about it, and eventually they fell to them. So then they became Christians. So when they started the Holy Roman Empire, Britain, France, Spain, and all of them were Christians. So they set up the system all over the world, and they were subdued by Christ. And then the system victimizes us today. That's where you come into it. So the victims of today, same methodology. Yeah, we have to be as strong as we can be. Be strong. Yeah, you're gonna be hated. If they hated Christ, they're gonna hate you. Be strong. Go through the hate. Make sure you don't do crime. Stay innocent. Don't have anything to say. You haven't done anything to them. They become obsessed with hating you. They hate you so much, but you have to be strong enough to neutralize them. You have to be strong enough for Christ. You have to, because if you can't just die out, then they'll kill off all the objects of hate, and then they'll revert back to war. So you have to be strong enough. So in the end, you're like a shepherd, really. For me, they hate me, but I deter them for trying to doom me, because, you know, the Almighty blessed me with a lot of physical power, and they have to remind them of that. So the flock has to keep their distance from you. They better keep their distance from me. So I stay strong for them. Yeah, I beat them for them. You know what I mean? I stay strong. I know you're obsessed with hating me. You try me, I beat you, but that's for you. Yeah, because when I'm there, you have something to focus all your hate on. Yeah, and you work together, yeah, and sometimes you build families and communities, and you're happy. You're not fighting each other because you have someone to channel your hate to. But when you try to take me out, I'm gonna resist that and fight that one and stay strong for you. I'll beat your ass for you. Yeah, that's a beat up, not a beat down. um, so basically, that's why we have to also stay strong through this victimization stage. Yeah, it's for them. Yeah, it's for Christ. That's what He wants. So you got to defend your life. Yeah, um, you know, and it's for the greater good that you defend yourself as a victim of today's society. You're more important than they are. Yeah, because without you, they're gone anyway. So you have to preserve yourself. You have to put yourself above them. You're more important.